demands that go on in a basic day. We want to talk about our event that occurred at BJ's, and we want to thank Mike McCarver and me for organizing that. If anybody has questions about the get together, we're available to answer them. Uh, we do want to discuss some of the incidents that have happened in the system uh, in Seattle. That was not part of the ATC system. That was a combination of the ground people and the directions of the pilots. Bob will take this up and discuss that a bit.
Yeah, but first of all, what I'd like to make sure that you're aware of is that we have this chat box here, and if you're out there, please don't be afraid to chat it up with us. We would love to hear your chat, so we'd love to know that you're here. Um, don't be shy, okay? We have the ability to answer you if you have good questions, and I hope they're good questions. And we want your feedback. So the things that we need from you is do you like the shows? What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see less of? We definitely want to narrow this down and make this your show as much as it is ours. Okay? The interest for you has to be 100%. We're not here to do anything political, or we're like Switzerland, neutral, right or left, left or right. We're not going there, and we're not here to point fingers at anybody. So, what I'd like to talk about though is the incident that was outside of Seattle and uh, all the other occurrences around the aviation system, as far as the news media goes. So, if you didn't notice, the news media had to walk back the American Airlines news media that they put out between the midair collision between the Hilo and the American Airlines aircraft. And these are the things that I was talking about on last week's podcast. For the press, it's all about ratings, not necessarily the factual news. They're in the entertainment business now, not really the news business. The compassion for the families and those that passed away in that horrible midair is put out there, but the compassion for those involved and left behind really isn't there, unless you're a family member. They make it out to be just a kind of finger pointing witch hunt that they themselves orchestrate. And it's not based on fact, it's based on what's going to drive their ratings up. We need to vocalize that that must stop. The people that are left behind, that will be under investigation, could be going through that investigation for the next 10 years. Imagine if that was you, under investigation for 10 years, when you think you did everything possible correct. But in the back of your mind, you're second guessing yourself now. And for 10 years, you got to second guess yourself. Every time a report or some kind of sensational news comes out based on that, you once again have to relive that incident over again. Your friends, they'll talk to you about, hey, did you see that thing you were involved in on the TV last night? Once again, another reliving of that story. Your friends that know you, your comrades that work with you, you're now tainted. The words that they put out can really never be taken back. So let's look for factual news, not the entertainment news. Let's tell our news broadcasters to knock that off. Report news. Don't tell us what to think. We're intelligent enough to know what to think after they give us the news. Well, Fred, what do you think about that?
I think you're right on, spot on, Bob. We've seen when you're actually involved in the inner workings of one of these situations, you see what comes out in the public and the words. I've known controllers that were involved directly with situations where an airplane disaster happened, and what you read about, uh, what you read about to the public, and what's going on inside those guys, it's heartbreaking, and it's just a slow death for them, sticking with them for years on. On another note, Do all you aviation buffs out there realize the complexity? Anytime there's an event such as the Super Bowl or major car show, how about a major tennis event like in New York or the Olympics? Do you realize there's something called the National Reservation Program for all these aircraft that want to go to these events? And we're probably talking a few thousand aircraft. And someone needs to take each one of those aircraft and find a place for them to fly in, not all at once, and to land and have a parking spot. It's the ultimate parking lot. And if you've ever read anything about Oshkosh Air Show in Wisconsin, that's one of the major events. It's kind of a badge of honor for controllers to work at Oshkosh, but it gets really hectic. And any rules we know in air traffic and separation kind of get out to the edge. It's an experience. Another major event, and it's very special today with the Super Bowl. We're getting a VIP visit from our new president, but they just made a decision on that in the last few days. So when they looked for a place to put Air Force One, the parking lot was full, and they had to find a parking lot that was available to him.
And isn't it amazing how well that they did that? I mean, the aviation community all pulls together to make sure that these arrivals are not really interrupted, that they get a good slot with a safe arrival. And the addition of the president and his additional security, they all pulled together and they got it done, right, Fred?
Oh yeah. They have to be able to land aircraft before Air Force One comes in, and additional aircraft after he lands. That nice big Cadillac doesn't drive from Washington down to New Orleans, and has to be carried on a C-17. Again, you have the Secret Service people plus the direct press corps for the president have to have flights coming in there, and it can get quite congested as to who's to land first and
Really?
who's going to come in second.
Imagine you're working that New Orleans sector and you're the corner post that all the arrivals are being funneled over. They're certainly separated by some reservation program, expect departure clearance time, but en route, they might come across some weather and they kind of get jumbled up, and the in-trail from their departure and the idea that they initially had kind of goes south, and the human factor now has to take over, and the experts in air traffic control line those aircraft up and hand them off and get them over that corner post in the proper and safe spacing and altitude, right, Fred?
Yeah, I know on a personal note, I've had disputes with the press corps that hear their flights coming along mixed in with everyone else, and they're telling me they want to go first. They want me to hold other airplanes so they can get in there first to be there when the VIP lands.
Yeah, I think, Fred, that might be back in the 707 days, but now with the 747, the press corps kind of flies along with the president. So a lot of that has gone away, but still, if they're out there and they don't get the invitation to ride on the 747, I guess that can still come up.
Yeah. I could think certain press corps people would not go on the 74. They probably have to walk behind.
Well, there are children that are out there in the media that don't understand that it's okay to disagree, and that's why they're in the press, and they shouldn't have any kind of political agenda. They should just be reporting the news. But that's for a different show and a different place. We're not here to discuss that. So tomorrow we're going to be holding interviews here at the house, just like we did for the first two shows. And then on March the 4th, we'll be doing interviews, hopefully down at the Ellington Museum. And there's a beautiful place in front of a Corsair F4U and a DC-3 that Continental used to fly, and that's where we're going to have. That's what we're going to have for our backdrop. So I'm looking forward to getting a lot of controllers out there that will want to do the interviews and at least come to the museum. If we don't hold it there, we'll work on the Hobby 1040 Museum, which is a beautiful location down there at Hobby Airport. If you haven't been to that, please go see it. They've got amazing memorabilia from back in the day. It's a beautiful Art Deco building, and I think I posted some pictures from those interviews on our regular web page, not the YouTube page, but the behindthescope.com page. So go check it out. And there are always pictures in our gallery on our web page. So if you were involved in a shoot with us, you'll see the pictures from the behind the scenes photographer, Aesthetic Aperture. She's always taking pictures for us and making sure we document everybody that comes in and joins us. So you'll always have your Cecil B. DeMille close-up. Okay. But let's go on. One of the groundbreaking things I'm going to try tomorrow, we have a controller out in LA, and we're going to try to get her story on Zoom. I'm going to bring her in on a monitor and a camera. She'll be able to see the group that we'll be interviewing. Plus, I'll be recording her story on Zoom so that we have a nice audio for her playback in our season 2 episodes. So if anybody is out there, which, I'm surprised, I guess nobody got the word that it was going to be 11 o'clock today, although I did post last week and I kind of mentioned it on the last podcast, I believe. So anything else you have, Fred?
No, looking forward to the Super Bowl today and how that goes. And I can just imagine the complexity of the job today. And, it'd be nice to see our new president come walking into the stadium. It's very special.
Yeah.
One thing I was wondering about, usually an event like this, they have a flyover. I don't know if they're going to have that because it's a covered stadium. As much as if they have it, it has to be entwined into all the other traffic coming into the airports around there.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty amazing.
So I don't see anybody out there. Other things that I'd like to do is please send us anything that you want us to talk about or anything that you feel that's important to the aviation community. And if you'd like to be on the show, send me your email or you could text me your phone number. Our email address can be hit off of the YouTube site. You can look for us there. And if you can't, do post in the community that you need our information. I do look at the community information every day. Please keep your remarks appropriate. If you have something that you want to say that is not appropriate, you can email me or Fred, and we'll discuss what the issue is, and hopefully we can get that taken care of. But if you post inappropriate stuff, you will be banned from the channel. There's no need for that. We're not here to hear your gripes, but we are here to explain aviation and to host our fellow retired controllers and hear their amazing stories and give that to you so that you can see what's gone on all these years behind the veil of the scope. So I look forward to seeing you or hearing from you, and I look forward to our interviews tomorrow and always forever forward. You take care. From me,
Fred, have a great week.
Yeah, enjoy. And I don't know about you, but I'm go Eagles, okay?
Sorry, Redskins all the way. Go Mahone.
Oh, go Mahone. Yeah, well, you got Taylor Swift, I guess, on your side, right?
Well, I don't know. Is she going to be there? I believe she is.
Of course, they'll be cutting to her every time he fumbles or every time he makes a touchdown or whatever you want to talk about it. Okay. Good hearing. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care. And till next time.
Bye bye.